Hello, welcome back to Man v Film. We're moving on with an indicator title this time, number 234 in the indicator range, and that is Corruption, starring Peter Cushing from 1968. Now, if you've got Peter Cushing in a movie, you're doing something great already. You have my attention. I am sitting up and I am ready to rave about this movie. I really like the setup to this one. It's kind of fun, but it feels almost campy in the way it's portraying the 60s. It's a swinging party where at any moment I fully expected Austin Powers to turn up. We've got Dr. John Rowan, who's there with his girlfriend, fiancée. She is a model, and this has been held by a photographer friend. They get there, they're getting some pictures taken. Everybody's having a little bit of alcohol, taking things a little bit too far. The photographer saying to Lynn, "Why don't you take your clothes off?" Dr. John jumps in to protect his fiancee's dignity, stops it. A fight ensues, and in the fight, Lynn gets scarred down the side of her face. She's disfigured, she's horrified. This is a woman who lived on her looks, who knew they would fade in time, but this sudden rush of having her looks taken away from her finds herself fracturing mentally. And you have kind of Dr. John, Peter Cushing, playing a professor, a doctor, someone who's studying to try and figure out a way to fix his wife, to make her better, make her whole again, which is the whole crux of the movie. And so far, so familiar.
Now listen to me carefully. I found a cure, an entirely new process. Look, the animal's perfectly normal again.
No.
No ill effects, nothing at all.
And for me? Would it work, John? Could it?
Yes, Lynn.
You know, it doesn't feel like it's breaking out of any tropes or that. It feels as if it's firmly set within this familiar beats of these kind of movies, the type of thing you've seen before in various other films, and most notably Eyes Without a Face, I guess. And where the film really picks up is once the doctor solves the issue of the skin, how to fix it, how to take this pituitary gland and use some of the stuff that he gets out of that to help make the face go back to the way it was. But of course, it doesn't last. And maybe using a fresh one might be the way to solve this.
Trust me. Last time I used dead tissue. It must be human, living tissue.
And it becomes this doctor who spent his entire life helping people, making them whole again, fixing them, having to suddenly take life so that he can make his wife better, because there's a certain level of guilt in what he has done. And the movie tackles this wonderfully well. We have this woman who is scarred, who wants to go back to the way she was, and who corrupts the doctor, the good doctor, into doing things that are against his ethical code. And it gets really kind of fun. And there's sequences where Cushing is struggling to do what his wife is kind of pushing him towards, and you see that kind of struggle within the man, because you've got such a character of Cushing playing the role. And there's one specific standout sequence where he is on a train trying to build the courage to do something. He is intense, focused. There is an inner fight that you feel within this character before he has to struggle and steal the life of someone to give his wife just a little bit more time with her looks. And it's really kind of a small story. You know, it feels really contained. There's minimal characters. There's some things that are going to throw everything up in the air when you think they've got the perfect plan. You've got the constantly mounting, racking guilt onto Cushing's character as he's struggling to deal with this, and the crazed thinking in a logical way that Lynn starts to go about things, demanding that he kill to make her beautiful once more.
She's young. She's got her whole life before her.
So have I. She's perfect. No family, no friends, no one knows where she is.
I love the way the movie looks when it takes that detour into the countryside. It just has this really nice look about it. I think the performers, both Sue Lloyd and Peter Cushing, do incredible work together. They really have this toxic relationship that drives the movie forward, comes to the forefront, and just makes you begin to squirm in your seat. It's intense. It has moments that are thrilling, edge of your seat, intense moments where you kind of feel for the character. You know what the doctor's up to, you know how he's feeling, how he's stuck in a situation, and how he is ultimately doing a bad thing with good intentions. I really liked Corruption. It was a bit of a surprise for me, one I'd never heard of before, and I think the package from Indicator is particularly brilliant. It's one of these limited edition sets, numbered of 5,000. It's got 3 feature presentations: the censored UK theatrical cut, the US theatrical cut, and the graphic continental version. There's no points for guessing what version I watched. And then there is a slew of extras on this, which I will not go through because there is so much. But yeah, it's great. It's a great movie. It's Peter Cushing at his best. Would the movie have been as good without him? I doubt it. I think he's the star and the draw and delivered on everything that I possibly wanted. I'd love to know your thoughts on Corruption. Let me know in the comment box below. I'll see you next time in Man v Film.